Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and today we're going to be talking about Chaos Gate Daemonhunters. A new DLC, Execution Force, has just been announced. The publishers have reached out with prior information, hence why I'm dropping at the same time as they should be announcing their stuff. Hopefully nothing's gone wrong because you never know with these things. But this is kind of interesting because there's a bunch of stuff that's added in. What you can be seeing is the trailer on screen right now. We're going to start talking about the actual details about this. If you want to see the trailer without my voiceover, it'll be timestamped in the video. But yeah, brand new content which adds in a bunch of new stuff. I think this is possibly their largest DLC so far. Unfortunately, I've not been able to play just yet, but hopefully soon. This is for $12.99 in terms of sterling, $14.99 in terms of dollars and euros. And like all other DLCs that we've had so far, it is completely save game compatible. So yeah, you can actually just go straight in, or you can start a new save. It doesn't really take too long to start triggering all the events as usual, so yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm actually looking forward to having a fresh new run, to be honest. So as you've been able to see through the trailer, we have access to a bunch of assassins, not just one, but four. So there's a bit of variety here. The first one being the Vindicare Assassin. This is something that you guys are very much used to if you play tabletop. It's long range, it's glass cannon unit, it's your sniper, which is very, very helpful, especially when you're dealing with enemies at a long range. Something that you do deal with often in this game. So I'm kind of excited about this. This is all information that's been provided, by the way, by the actual publishers. And one thing which is really exciting about this is it's got a ability known as Deadshot. This is a limited use ability, but it can kill any organic enemy in a single shot, which, yes, I love this. The next one is the Eversaw Assassin, and don't you worry, I actually have some game footage that I'll be showing a little bit later, but this one's more melee oriented, which kind of works out if you're one of those people who like the interceptor spams, which is kind of my build. What makes this quite unique is that the abilities are not limited by willpower or cooldowns. Instead, your abilities cost HP, which must be recovered through melee kills. So yeah, keep them up close and personal. Again, you pair them up with some interceptors, which I'm assuming the build is still going to work, then yeah, you're good to go. I can't wait to actually try this out myself, to be honest, because it sounds pretty freaking cool. The next one is your Oculus Assassin, and this one is your anti-psyker. He specializes in dealing with enemy psychers, with demonic units. It's actually pretty cool. You can't see it too well, unfortunately, but you've been able to see it on the trailer. What it also does is it helps with dealing with the warp surges too, which, yeah, let's be honest, you know, the warp surges can be a bit of a hassle in this game, especially when a bad debuff comes in and really makes the match a lot harder for you. And the last assassin unit is the Colorless Assassin. Interestingly enough, it can get really close to enemy squads without triggering combat. So this is your stealther, again allowing you to be able to use your teleporters to get really up close and personal without having the enemy just spread too much, I imagine. Now this is the assassin that I'm most curious about, mostly because I'm not too sure how I could use it. So yeah, I can't wait to actually get my hands on the DLC to be able to play this. All in all, I think all the assassins themselves are pretty cool from what we've been able to just read over. I'm imagining that all this information is also on the Steam page, but let's continue because there's more stuff coming. And here you can see the assassins being cycled through. Big fan of this. Really, really excited to see all these assassins in action because, I mean, look, they're really, really cool. Assassins are one of the coolest things in Warhammer for the Imperium, so I'm just really, really happy that we're going to be able to play them. So there are new types of missions that also appear through this DLC. One of them is the boarding actions, and we've got a little bit of information here. The boarding actions are a type of new mission that you access through Death Guard ship timeline events by choosing to send a boarding party against the enemy vessel. In the base game, this action auto-resolves and deals injuries to the knights. With the DLC, the player will instead actively lead the boarding party to quickly destroy the enemy's power source. This is fantastic. So this means that you don't actually have to just take the auto-resolve damage. Well, if your team is good enough, but I love this. This is awesome. These missions will thrust the Grey Knights within the Death Guard's cruiser interior to destroy its power generators, race race against the clock to achieve your goals or suffer the consequences. A failed effort to disable the cruiser will result in heavy damage to the Baleful Edict. Successes will render significant rewards. It's also been confirmed that there are new maps for this new type of mission and for the other one too, which I'm actually really happy. So they each feature 5 new map variants. A little bit of variety is obviously very good, especially for a game like this where you're going to be, well, fighting a lot of battles. We've been able to see some gameplay on screen right now, and yeah, everything looks pretty cool. It looks really grimdark. Obviously, we're inside a Death Guard cruiser, so everything is going to look like an Imperium cruiser, just really, really corrupted. I love the look of it. I think this is really, really interesting. The clip that you're seeing right now is the generator fight, so this is going into basically just taking out the actual generator for the machine to make sure that the cruiser explodes. Overall, I'm a big fan of new missions. We're going to be talking about the other one very, very soon. It's something which adds a lot more flavor. I do wonder how this is going to work in terms of, well, just how the campaign is going to be, because it's already a lot of enemies that you're going to be fighting. You're obviously going to have to prepare yourself and make sure that none of your Grey Knights get slaughtered, but I imagine that fighting the battle, it's going to be a lot better than just auto-resolving, especially since, yeah, the auto-resolve was never really too good. I had a lot of injuries with them, to be honest, a lot of injuries. Maybe it's just my bad luck, because I do have really bad RNG when it comes to these types of games. But, yeah, I mean, it's always good to have an alternate system, something to just have a little bit more fun in. We do have a bunch of new enemies that have appeared through free patches. I do also believe that the Beast of Nurgle has been added in, or is about to be added in alongside the patch that does drop alongside this DLC, which is great. When you look towards Chaos Gate Daemonhunters, you look towards a dev team which is obviously really pushing to get as much out there and make it as engaging as possible. This is a game that during the initial launch, I sucked in a lot of time into this. Like, it took me away from leaving the house for a few days, that's for sure. And the last mission type are the Tenturous Hive missions. So this is actually kind of interesting. Your primary objective is to kill a new breed of enormous bloom spawn called a Tenturous Hive, which is slowly spreading corruption over the planet in an ever-increasing outbreak of mutations. However, the hive is connected to a number of smaller hive germs, which protect it from damage until they are destroyed. Eliminating these hive germs will allow your squad to focus on the Tenturous Hive. To complicate matters, the Tenturous Hive can summon waves of reinforcements and fire a long-range blast to disrupt your squads, creating a dynamic where the player must rush to eliminate all the hive germs before they are overwhelmed by reinforcements, then complete the mission by destroying the hive itself. This looks like it's going to be quite a tough one. I imagine that not taking it out is going to really infect the planet, so you're going to have to really go for it. I kind of like what I'm seeing so far. So just first impressions from seeing the B-roll footage that was supplied. I'm not too worried because I generally focus on speed builds. I don't really use a lot of Terminators, though I imagine that dealing with waves and waves and waves of stuff means that Terminators might also be quite useful. Again, the Assassins here are going to be very, very useful. We can see the Assassins in action too. I don't know. Again, need to play to be able to see how I feel about this. But I'm excited nonetheless because, well, I mean, this is a great game. I really, really enjoy playing it. It's definitely something that you can tell the devs put a lot of love into it, so I can't wait to see how this DLC actually works. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What I will do is I'll have the trailer playing in the end just in case because of the timestamps. But yeah, let's start a discussion and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Have a good day.
We do not determine the guilty. We do not decide the punishment. We are merely the cold instrument of the Emperor's vengeance. There is no form of death unknown to us. There is no form of terror beyond our means. There is no enemy outside our reach. We are the blade that hovers over the throat of the traitor. We are the bullet that awaits the heretic's skull. We are the poison in the throat of the alien.